Okay, so of course, if anybody has any objections against the recording, please note or please don't leave, but you'll have to leave. Morning, everyone. The people that don't know me, my name is Elize and I'm the CEO. I'm the CEO of Expello, and I am super excited for this year. Now, of course, Expello is not Elize. It is a team of fantastic people. I've got, you'll see the very handsome face of Johan. I think he is the hero of many, many agents. He's in our breach department. See all smiles, there he is. Yeah, he had a bit of a holiday in Cape Town, so we're happy for him to be back. We've got Zelda there from the applications department, always smiling. Everybody's always so grateful for Zelda's patience. And I think the name that people also have been starting to get used to is Lizanne. Let me just see, where is Lizanne? There's a smile. She's also up and running, also in the applications department. That's really been stepping in and found her feet and helping our clients. And the other person that's online is our accounts manager that really knows how to keep the knowledge, how to keep the books, and that's excellent. So usually if you guys, there's a thumbs up and you see that friendly face. I laugh and said if I had to do his job, I would have many more wrinkles, because accounting and myself is not friends. Or shall I say creative accounting, me? So that is my team. Welcome very much. We have very exciting news. As you guys know, we've been growing in KZN. We've been growing in Cape Town. And it's sometimes very frustrating, because then you guys have to wait for myself to come through, or you have somebody that wants, you want to speak to someone, just to come to the office and so forth. And it is with very excitement to advise that we have partnered with Sean Light. His camera is on for the Cape Town area. We have partnered with Bevan Thomas. See that very handsome face as well in KZN, that they're going to go out and about. And we also have Wendy. Wendy, I see you also jumped in. Darling, you are going to kill me. You're also my part. You're also a partner, but I can't remember the specific area. She will tell us. I'm sure if you ask me for that specific area, we will tell you. So what we've been doing is people that have been in the industry. I mean, you guys know Sean very well. Bevan has been at the helm of managing properties as well, so he knows the pain of rental agent. And that's why, because of their belief in Expello, we partnered with them and said, okay, you guys are being a partner, and therefore, contact persons to help clients to sign up with Expello. So that's a great and exciting news that I wanted to share. So yeah, that is exciting. The other thing that is super exciting is that we are definitely going to be in your faces a bit more in the year. I always thought, people are so tired. They don't want to do webinars. They don't want to attend the events. And what I actually realized is there is a big need, because, you get training from attorneys, and attorneys really give their view from an attorney side. Then you have people from estate agencies, the EIB, and please, all of those trainings are fantastic. We all need them. But then Expello sort of comes in and we bring in the balance. And I think that is also where it is a big focus. It is important for us to make sure that our clients get the backup, because one of our biggest, I want to say, value to our agents is the fact that we have your back. Our job is, yes, to look after the landlord, to make sure that, if he needs to go through with an eviction, he doesn't have to pay. At most, and owners, if we need to proceed with an eviction, it's usually not after the 12 months. It's usually halfway through, in the beginning, or maybe at the end. So at worst, the owner has paid 3,000 Rand for an eviction by a professional attorney. So just to say that, I am super excited. We actually have Esmeralda Bosman online as well. I'm putting her, she didn't expect this. She's also one of our panel attorneys, which we use in the Krugersdorp area. Guys, she's absolute bulldog as well. I think that of all the attorneys. So it's always great to have them on board. And the fact that we really take time and make sure we use attorneys that get what is the value. So they don't just litigate because of litigation, and they know what is the end goal. So, and the end goal always is to get the paying tenant, a non-paying tenant out and get a paying tenant in. So we have said happy birthday to all the birthdays. I showed you our team, which we are excited about. I told you guys the exciting news about Sean and Bevan. And if you guys want us to set up some more or arrange something, let me know. I'll make sure we connect the two of you. The other exciting thing is on the 22nd of February, you can make a note now, we are having a network event in, unfortunately, modern Gauteng. This is not for you. It is going to be in the Ruimse area. The reason being is then it's a bit central to Rutherford, Krugersdorp, and even Randburg. It's going to be a free. I'm having PayPal and I'm having private property as guests in the networking morning. Guys, it's free. Okay. So don't worry. It's going to be a quick 9 o'clock and finish by 12. So please look out for that invite. Please do register that we can make provision for you, that you can come and meet and just see what is the industry and come speak to us, and we convey some exciting things, some marketing ideas. The purpose of these networking events is, somebody said once that it is, we are so busy with the properties, and sometimes there comes awesome stuff across our hands, but we don't know. There's also things available for rental agents, which we don't know of, because we are, we are so busy. So that is what we're also going to do. If I see something, now everybody that knows me likes, I like an app, I like anything that makes my life easier, or something that looks cool. And I'm going to get these people to come and talk to you. Same with PayProp. Now, the funny thing with PayProp is I realized, PayProp has been around forever, it feels like. Way before Expello PayProp existed. And I'm still getting people asking me whether PayProp and Expello is the same thing. And that's for that reason, I sort of want to say, okay, listen, this is how we work, for example, with an accounting system. And where do we fit in? I think that is going to be one of the exciting things. So if you are looking at, and I'm not I'm also going to make sure that we bring other providers in as well, but you're going to go and have a look. Because one thing I know is, for example, the biggest fight ever I had, and Bevan will know this, is between Microsoft and Google. And, some people love Google Gmail, some people love Outlook, and it's due to taste. The one isn't better than the other. Some people like it fast, some people like it slow, some people like bright color, some people like it plain. But the thing is, do you have the information? So that is the thing that I think, and it's going to be lovely coffee. I want to say, if there's not load shedding. So, but we'll make sure if there's at least that there's hot water. Okay. I know all of you. We're all thinking, yeah, holiday was fantastic. And I think by now, most of us have forgotten about the holiday. Whether it's you have only 2 days or 3 days of peace and quiet, most of rental agents don't get any resting time. They work straight through, because people keep on looking for houses, people keep on having problems, and landlords still expect their money. December is a very frustrating time for us at Expello, because our hands get so restrained like crazy. And the thing is, what many people forget is one of our features of our job is to assess as to what is going to be the best outcome for a owner. So I'm going to use the example. The tenant has defaulted for the first time. Let's say he defaulted for the first time in we'll say beginning of December, and you make an arrangement. Now, we all know that you won't be able to vacate the end of December because people are struggling to get new places and all of this. So you come to an agreement, for example, end of January. That is still a good agreement compared to saying, I'm not going to enter into an agreement and we're going to proceed with an eviction. And I'm going to explain to you why. Somebody said once that always try and resolve a dispute before you go to lawyers. But if you go to lawyers, make sure you have the best ones. Now, that is exactly what we do. We have to ascertain and say, if this tenant, if we come to an agreement, and I'm talking on the basis, this is the first agreement that comes in place, we come to an agreement that will vacate the end of January. That outcome is much better than us cancelling in the middle of or the beginning of January, and we're proceeding with an eviction. The reason being is, even if an eviction is done, let's say top speed, the speed like before COVID, within 12 weeks you have your order. So 12 weeks is around about 2 months. So you start your eviction in January, so February, March, you're in court, and then the court, unfortunately, okay, great, you can move out the end of April. So let's compare the two quickly. So initially we agreed that they can vacate the end of January, or we're proceeding with the eviction, and there's a possibility that only going to vacate the end of April. Now, just because we enter into an agreement does not mean we believe everything tenants say. That's not the case. What we've seen is, out all of the agreements we enter into, 95% of those agreements, the people actually keep to it. Because the time we get there, everything has been explained to them. And, you know, they understand that if they don't, we are going to give them a very bad reference. And I think that is something to keep in mind. But it's still risky. So you can still be part of that 5% that we waited until the end of January. They don't vacate, and now we have to proceed with on the 1st of February with the eviction. Yes, it's then easy to say, no, but you should have started the eviction in January. But the problem was, it was an assessment of what is the possibility. And even usually, it's not like we are surprised on the very last day that they don't vacate. I know for a fact that Johan and their team already a week beforehand start and say, can we come and collect the keys? Are you sure we can come and collect the keys? And if we see that something is not going to happen and they're not going to vacate, that is then already when we start putting everything in place. So we do try to limit the delay as much as possible. But at the end of the day, is we will need to see which is going to bring us the best results. We have control over certain things. We don't have control over what happens in the courts. I am concerned about load shedding and the courts. According to me, most courts don't have generators or inverters, or I don't know what the thing is. And Esmeralda, I'm definitely going to drink coffee with you to check. But it's so easy for the court to go, sorry, I can't proceed, né? There's no power. I go, okay, but now can you not just take a pen and make a note on the file? We almost now your witnesses. The problem is they have to record it as evidence. So that is the thing that is of concern. To wait until you get to your court date and then it gets postponed because of load shedding, or because the tenant decides to pitch up and they want to postpone. Now, at that, just that part as well, I want to give where's my high five emoji? I want to give a high five to our attorney. I'll clap. Usually, if that tenant pitch up, listen, we get an order. they explain it to them. And even if the order isn't, for example, in Cape Town, and if I didn't work with Mohammed for so long, I would have told him that it's crazy, you can't get an eviction order on a 4-2 date, but he gets an order. And although it's in January and it says the end of March, you go, Elize, but now what's such a long date? What he has done is, if the matter got postponed on the 4-2 date, postponed would have only gone to court in March. In March, then the matter would have given him time until the end of April. So just by using the system, knowing the courts, and having our finger on the pulse, it really helped. So that is at the end goal is we always look at the bigger picture. And I have to say, if I look at the breaches in the past year, last year we had a lot of our breaches increased substantially. And I have to say, we work with more than 120 breaches a month. And if we need to proceed with one eviction a month, that is a lot. And it's not because we don't elect to, it's because we either fired, begged, or threatened. Now, the reason why I specifically say threatened is I'm something, and if this is the only thing you get off today, please take this with your staff. Please take this up with your landlords. We are going into an era where people are much more impatient. I don't know about you guys. I know you are getting a lot of abuse as well. People think it's okay to scream at people and swear at people. It's like a norm. Like, you didn't pay your rent. That's default, yeah. You didn't pay. So that type of reaction. People think that is okay. The problem is the reaction. Usually, do not speak to me like that. You are like, that doesn't make the situation better. I just want to see, I am breaking up with my son. Do I have to change to a different? Let me just change my audio.
Let's just test that quickly. How does that sound? Does that sound fine? Oh, thank you, everyone. So maybe the breaking of the sound was when I was swearing. Even Zoom censors everything. So the big essence that I wanted to say is don't go and swear back. I know that is super difficult. If you like me, I start getting red here from here, my chest, all the way to here, I get red. You start tingling. And at that juncture, to not tell that person of their fortune is very difficult. But at most, you will say, sir, I cannot speak to you at this juncture. I will phone you back. This is one of the ways, and nobody is perfect. Guys, everybody loses their temper. And I have to say, with all the trainings that is about, most agents usually get this right. The concern that I've been seeing is that people are becoming WhatsApp warriors. Do you know how many WhatsApps do we see with too many capital letters, exclamation marks, and then they put special characters, because now they don't want to swear, so they put special characters to I don't know, to censor their own swearing. Okay, we all know you're swearing. That doesn't help. I know. I promise you, all of us has picked up the phone, whether it's like this, to start typing and type and type and type, and then you delete. The reason being is we are escalating the matter. And sorry, I just want to say, I am denying that anybody records from the other side. We will make the recording available later on, okay? Or if you need training at your offices, please just reach out and we will arrange that. So just to come back, WhatsApps and emails, guys, your landlord, firstly, if you are managing the property, you must be strict with your landlord that they should not jump in and help you manage this property. Okay, because what's going to happen is you tell the tenant, you need to pay or I evict you. The landlord goes, no, let's give him another chance. Or even worse, no, you must move out today or I'm sending people to move in. You have just created a much more difficult situation. So landlords, if tenants, well, let me say this, agent, if this is an Expello matter and the landlord is doing that, please tell Johanna or myself, I gladly make the phone call to that landlord and say, landlord, you are prejudicing our work. Because a tenant cannot work, speak to the agent, to the landlord and Expello. Because what? We barely can get our kids to listen to two parents. What is a default tenant going to do with all three of us? Nee? Nothing is going to happen and it's going to cause a delay. We feel very strong about this and we won't crap them. We will explain it to them nicely why we need them to trust us to follow the system. That's the first thing. Tell landlords not to send those WhatsApp messages. And the reason being is, yes, most probably you feel that tenant deserves it. Tenants are taking more advantage, guys. We're seeing this more and more. It's like in the past, people didn't worry if they get a traffic fine. You know, in the past, I would get one, I get semi-nervous. Now you get it and you throw it in the dustbin, for example. I'm not doing that. I hear people do that. I don't do that. People do exactly the same thing with rentals. Okay? They're not worried because they know the system. So what we need to do, and in many cases, if the tenant raises 10 things, we only going to reply and speak about the two that is important. So if you see the sentence, we do not intend to respond to each and every allegation, and we'll reserve the right to respond to it at a later stage. It is not us saying we are lazy, we don't want to answer all of it. It is us saying we're not going to fight about nonsense. We want to keep the issues to the real issue. You haven't paid your rent. The fact that the shower is not working, or the fact that you are unhappy where you are, the fact that the landlord swore at you, the fact that that is not relevant. The relevant fact is, this is your obligations, and let's sort this out. You have lost your job. I don't care about how you're going to pay me. I want to know when you're going to vacate. Why is that important again? Because if you lost your job and you don't have an income, even if you pay me this month, next month, you're also not going to pay me. I mean, I get tenants saying to me, but can I not just stay until I find a job? And when is that? Do you have an employment letter? No. Okay, so I like this till leave it until the future, but we can't. We work with definites. We also are lucky is we keep it to that point is because we don't want to become involved. Nobody is our friends. We look at the facts. We like the AI computer, weighing the facts and say, this is the situation. I hear you, because, you know, that sort of, the moment I get anybody screaming at me and I go, I hear you, they stop sort of screaming because now they realize I'm listening to them. And you go and say, this I cannot do anything about. My job is to get a paying tenant in. You cannot pay. How can we solve this? So just to summarize all of this, what I said, if you write an email, if you write a WhatsApp or Telegram or anything else, please make sure that it is, if a judge or a magistrate reads it, that they don't see you as the villain. Okay. We take all the time to create the tenant as the defaulting party. We don't want to come back to be the slum landlord or the taking charge agent. We know how hard we have to work to be reputable, to look like the good guy. Don't ever do anything to prejudice this. Is there any questions on this topic? If you guys want to create a group or make sure you drink extra coffee, go rant and rave, draft that email, send it to a Gmail account of yourself. I think everybody must create a frustrating tenant Gmail account, and you send that nonsense there, because it's part of the satisfaction of the typing is the hitting the send button. So at least you send it to that email and doesn't prejudice the matter. Okay. The other thing that we are going to raise and going to bring up is that because we see.
Hello.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Michelle, how can I help you?
Yes. So I'm just in an Expello training quickly, so I can't really talk now. Can I phone you back?
Okay. At least she's telling somebody else. Okay, that's fine. Miriam Cohen, I love what's in the chat. I'm going to quickly run through the chat to see if there's anything I missed there. Miriam, you made my day. I think for that, I'm just going to send you a gift. That is a very good idea for an email. So that is how we're going to deal with defaulting tenants. Just to say, January and February in Expello is eviction months. Guys, we talked nicely because of December, because that was the option we can use. Psychological warfare was the thing that we used most. We have reached that point that I saw. And hopefully you can help me. Is it Messi, that guy that threatens with the deep voice? I want to say, well, that guy says, "When I come for you, I am going to kill you, and when I, but I'm not going to kill you immediately." So that is exactly the tone sort of who he says, we are coming to evict you. We are not going to come with bubble wrap. We're going to come with the sheriff. He's going to arrive. He's going to look at your assets to make sure how many people I must bring to help you move those assets. We are not going to help you now to find another place. We're going to make sure that you are not going to get any good recommendation from any of our agents. Why do we do this? Because by this time, we offered to help. We offered to find you another place. But then they know the writing is on the wall. So that is the approach we're taking. So definitely we're running with the evictions, and as it goes, it will also give us an idea what is happening in the courts now, how the courts are coping with the load shedding. And as we are going to do these webinars, it's going to be once a month on a Wednesday webinars, and then once a month on a Tuesday is going to be the networking. So February is going to be in Gauteng, I want to say Joburg area. We're looking for March in KZN and in April in Cape Town. So we are going to do a bit of traveling and see where we can have those network events. The other thing is, I know agents has been struggling to sometimes convince their landlords to take the Expello offer, especially because finances are tight. Now, guys, remember, you must purely offer it to the landlord. And when you offer it to the landlord, it also gives you an opportunity to explain the risk involved with rentals. What I see is many times landlords get super frustrated and scream at their agents because they didn't expect. They thought a rental property is easy. You know, you get a tenant, you get your money, you don't have to do anything, life is good. And I can understand in the past that you don't want to tell your landlord, listen, there is a possibility that something can go wrong. Because then they're going to go, well, then I'll go to another agent because you're going to get me a crap tenant. Not at all. Just to say that, listen, at the stats, just look around, there's always that possibility. So this is the option available. So if it's not in your mandate as yet, to the option. So if they say no, great, you are covered. What I see is usually if they said no, they also don't scream as much at you because they know it's their own fault. Lauren, that's a very good idea. She says, she tells their owners they don't have a choice, but she subsidized 50%, which is a very good point. So just to give them that offering, we are seeing more and more tenants starting to pay for Expello. Now you're going to say, mind blown. I need to see how I can put graphics. Now that somebody knows that, it's going to be awesome. How do I get a tenant to pay for Expello? It's easy. Firstly, you have so many applicants for a property. How do the landlord know they should take you? Just to have a good credit score is not going to be sufficient. So if you're willing to contribute or make a payment towards Expello, it shows your good faith. Okay. So they pay, whether it's the full 250 or part of it, at least it shows their commitment. That's the first thing. The second thing is you are welcome then at the end of that tenant vacates and they never breached their lease to contact us, our applications department. And when they cancel it, they will actually generate a reference letter for that tenant. The reason why I'm so super excited about the reference letter is I think the time that we can rely on any landlord to give a reference has passed. I have seen too many landlords don't give you a good reference. They tell you what you want to hear to get rid of the tenants. So at least at the end of this period, Expello will give a reference letter stipulating and confirming that the tenant has leased this property for this amount. They paid their rent every month and that they've been a good tenant. When people usually relocate to another property, it's because they want to go bigger or they're buying or different area. At least they will do that. And that will also help them to be placed easier. So that is a great opportunity. Please let me know what you think about it. Do you think that's something that your tenants would like? Let's give them time. Do I get a yes? Get a thumbs up? Sorry, I'm looking on the left side of myself so that I can quickly just check the chats. Also, then that is going to make your vetting easier as well. Imagine if you get an applicant and the Expello letter is with that application already. I'm quite sure that's going to be a no-brainer. You're going to tell me, Elize, listen, this tenant, we got them, we're putting it up, and you someone know we're going to accept them. Okay, so I'm very excited about the reference letter. Then the question from Lauren is, so will the tenant pay this on top of the base rental? So yes, Lauren, I think it depends on how you put it together, where you work Expello into the rental, or whether you make it an add-on. They have to pay the rent, they have to pay Expello, and they have to pay the security and water and electricity. I like the idea, but that they know they pay for Expello because they need to know the benefits as well. So at the end of this time period, you are going to get a reference letter. And also that because you are willing to pay this, the landlord will consider your application. So that's the twofold benefit for a tenant. That's definitely going to help them. Any other questions? Okay. Then just one last thing. I'm going to move on now. And the purpose of these webinars is, so my next webinar, I'm not going to be alone. Hopefully this is going to be the last one. You know, January is my birthday month as well, really just before payday. So I like giving people birthday presents. It's just to share some information. And then from the year schedule, you'll see I'm going to start getting all my attorneys on board, all our partners, to come and tell us a bit about what they are experiencing, you know, to share their knowledge as well, in an informal basis. The purpose is not to keep you guys here or to keep you busy. It is just to make it quick and easy that you guys can sign in and get that knowledge. Last year, I said to quite a couple of our clients that with the accounting systems out there, you can actually set up a split payment. So what is happening is there is agencies that is, you know, they don't charge the relevant parties 250 Rand. They might be charging a bit more in order to cover the expenses relating to some of the vetting and the stuff. And then I said in the past, the nice thing is you can still set it up on your system that the payment is made automatically to us. And it just arranged for a split payment. With regret, I was advised you cannot do that. So for example, if you are charging 300 Rand per expeller, I'm just going to mute you. Yeah, I'm just going to mute you quickly. So if you are charging your landlords 300 Rand, or maybe 150 for the landlord and 150 for the tenant, so you collecting to 300, and we only charging you 250 Rand. What we are working with Extend is you will get your invoice for 250 Rand, but the amount, you can set it up on the system to pass 300 Rand. That additional amount of money will then lie in our system because we're not going to make payments of 50 Rand. Okay? Poor Extend is just going to continue making, it's going to cost more money. So what we've done is, until such time the books has grown or the amounts are larger, we will pay out these amounts every 4 months. So it will be April, August, and December between the 10th and the 15th. So that means if you've got 10 clients for 300 Rand, that means you're getting an additional 500 Rand. You see now, that's why I'm not on accounting. So the additional 500 Rand will be then for January, February, March. And then on the 10th, and between the 10th and the 15th, Extend will take, because remember, it's going to show as a credit on your invoice. That amount will then, he'll send to say, listen, we confirm this is the amount being held. You'll see it in any event on your statement because it's going to show as credits against those certain invoices, and we will pay that amount out. Please don't just start charging more or changing amounts. Please correspond with Extend. Say, Extend, we have always been charging 250 Rand or whatever is the fee that we've been charging, but we want to take this opportunity because instead of increasing our management fee, we would rather want to sell Expeller for 50 Rand more. So will you please just take note that we will be starting paying you 300 Rand per invoice. That because he's a very diligent man. So otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to get the first pay, he's going to say, you made a mistake. So he's going to say, listen, you overpay. So no, that's the intention. So that we can just make a note on our side that we can know from this date onwards or from here on, if we get a payment more, we know it is that has to go into your savings pocket, and that we will then pay that out on the payment dates. This can be very confusing. I love you, Annette. She says, Elize, nobody understands ever if you do accounting. So if you guys have got more questions about this or how this works, please let us set up a one-on-one. Let me come speak to your offices that we can explain how this can be happen. I do think this is something that can help. Yes, whether it's only 20 Rand more, whether it's 30 Rand more, if you have 100 properties at 20 Rand extra, guys, that's a good sum of money that can really help you. Okay, so this is a way that we can help you guys to use the systems that you are using, to treat yourselves, to go buy more coffee because of the abuse. I wanted to say tequila, but don't, because then we're all going to be drunk. So go have a look at it. If you need more response or need help about it, please let us know. Is there any questions? I'm going to quickly open the floor to while I take a sip of my coffee. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm so glad we didn't arrange to make it webinar Mondays. I think that would have been absolutely terrible. I'm going to quickly make Zelda my co-host because I did promise a prize. Now, again, Zelda says, Elize is like Oprah, we just give out. I can't help it. So I've already decided, Miriam, you're going to get a prize for your email, because I loved that idea, Miriam. That was fantastic, funny. But Zelda, of all the attendees here this morning, who's going to be the lucky winner of our prize?
Morning, everyone. Miriam, well done. I will get in contact with you to send your prize. Like Elize said, she likes handing out a lot of prizes. But for our lucky draw today, we have, I'm just going to see if I can share my screen, Elize. We've got here, let's just wait for can everyone see? It's Marizel Swart today.
Well done, Marizel.
Congratulations, Marizel. I will get in contact with you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Great, everyone. That is fantastic. One last job. If you don't have my cell phone number as yet, I'm going to quickly give it to you. If there's any specific topics you guys want training on, or there's anything specific, please let us know. I would love, most probably, if you are wondering as to why is this happening or why is this different, let us get the people in, let's have the discussions, and we take it from there. It's a stellar job to bring the different facets of the rental community in together and just compare notes, that we never just have the one view, but the 360 view. I think that is a very good thing to say. So everyone, have an absolute awesome day. Be safe, stay calm. I think we have to start giving out green tea, lavender tea. Take breathe, stay calm. You've got this. Thank you.